Hello everyone, this is Shivani and welcome back to my channel Lit Fun. And before we begin, allow me the pleasure to wish you all a very happy Diwali. May this Diwali brings lots of happiness and success in your life. And now, since this is the Festival of Lights, we are going to discuss a sweet little book that's gonna lighten up your faces. And the title of that book is I Came Upon a Lighthouse by Shantanu Naidu. So let's begin. So this book is basically a memoir tracing the journey of Shantanu. And those of you who do not know who Shantanu Naidu is, he is the manager of the great Mr. Ratan Tata. So let's start from very beginning on how he managed to get all this position. So he was basically an engineering graduate and Shantanu is an ardent animal lover. So the story begins when he saw a puppy dead lying on the streets, and it was pitch dark and he was like so aggravated. He was so upset seeing that a vehicle had just ran over the dog, that when at during his internship, when he went to the office the next day, he started talking about it and he was very angry and very upset that people drive so recklessly. They do not have any concern about the animal's life. And of course it's a very human perspective that he gives, that I sometimes wonder that why would the dogs be crossing roads like that? Was someone going to was someone going to their children to get them food, or was someone searching for their mother or father, or is there any relative waiting for them across the road? Why were they crossing the road in such a hurry? And does the other one know that now they are never gonna see that relative dog of theirs? And so he is filled with compassion at this thought and he talks about it in his office. And later on, one of his colleagues come to him in solitude and he tells him that this thing also happened with him once, but the problem was that the dog had come so sudden in front of him that he could not apply the brakes. He could not save the dog even though he wanted to, and now he was guilt ridden because of that action of his. And this made Shantanu think that is this that happens with all the drivers, and is there any way that they can prevent them? So we all think and we all talk about these things, but then we forget it. We talk it on over the evening tea and then we just let it go. But Shantanu was not like that. So he discussed this with his friends and he came up with the idea that they are going to tie the colored collars over the dogs, the with the bright colors, so that the drivers can see from a distance that there is someone and they can apply brakes on time. So with this began his initiative, and all the college students pulled in the money. Some donated their jeans and jackets and everything, and they crafted out the collars with the red colored tape and all, so that it would be visible to the drivers coming from a distance. And he named this initiative as Moto Pause. Okay, so MOTO Moto and PAWS Pause. Moto is for the drivers and pause is for the dogs. And you can also say it like that, it's a signal that motors, cars, bikes, etc., you have to give a pause because the animals are crossing the street. So this initiative gathered a lot of limelight and it became like really successful. And he, meanwhile all this thing, he gives very human perspective that the dogs didn't even realize that when they were being collared, because they petted the dog, took them in their laps, and the dogs were so happy at that attention that they didn't realize what was happening with them. And slowly the internet took over and there was a lot of sensation, and there were positive comments from the people that they were actually able to apply brakes on time and they felt really good and they thanked whoever has done this. So everything was going great. And what is special about Shantanu Naidu is that his entire family, like the generations, have worked for Tata Enterprises. So his father, his family, suggests that he should tell about this initiative to Ratan Tata, as he is also an animal lover. So he also agrees, and they collect all the snippets, the newspaper articles and all that they have done in the motor pause, they make a file and they send it to Mr. Ratan Tata's office. Now a lot of time passes, no response is there, and Shantanu didn't do it for any uh, in want of any favor or something. He just mailed it to Mr. Ratan Tata. And after a few months, finally the call comes from his office, and Ratan Tata sir invites him to meet him. And it was a big occasion for them. And you would see, if you read his book or listen to Audible, that what kind of preparations were going on in his house. And everyone was like, Shantanu got a little sick in between, and everyone was like, how did you manage to get sick? Are you going to cough in front of Mr. Ratan Tata? No. So it means it was everything like, ये भी नहीं करना, वो भी नहीं करना. You have to be extra cautious क्योंकि आप रतन टाटा से मिलने जा रहे हो. So you have to be fully prepared. And in all this, Shantanu's best friend Sukrut was there with him. They went to his office, they had a nice chat, and obviously Mr. Ratan Tata is such a great personality. Obviously he must be able to perceive people and all that. And over that, it was very noble intention, noble work that was being done, and they had completely denied that they didn't want any, monetary help from Mr. Ratan Tata. So everything went like really well, and Mr. Tata even took both of them to his house, and they met Mr. Ratan Tata's dog also. So from there the journey started, and here Mr. Tata had promised Shantanu's father, who was waiting outside the office, that he would take care of his son, and he fulfilled that promise till the very end. So at that time, Shantanu was preparing, to get into the universities like Oxford, Cambridge, and everything. So he managed to get the admission in Columbia University, which was same as attended by Mr. Ratan Tata as well. So somehow from there, Shantanu, started writing mails to Mr. Tata, and Mr. Tata also responded them with the same, eagerness and with the same sweetness. And it was as if the two friends were communicating. And we get to know that if you do check Shantanu's Instagram account, it's not public, but you can of course put in a request to follow him, and it goes by the name Suitcase Full of Sparks. So he posts like almost each and everything that he does, in his life, and his Instagram account is full of posts. You cannot reach till the end. So he is, in a way, like very jovial. He wants to share everything that is happening in his life. So he keeps on posting, updating Mr. Tata about all these things, and things go really great. Which university did I tell you that Shantanu took admission in? I think Columbia. No, it's Cornell University. I'm really sorry. So he gets into the Cornell University. All right. And while he was studying there, in between, Mr. Tata visits him once or twice as well. He had, of course, a work trip, but he manages to take out time to meet Shantanu as well. And they both spend time together, and somehow they, get really close, and they develop a very good bond of friendship. And Shantanu had told Mr. Tata earlier that he did not plan on settling abroad. So after he completes his education, he would come back to India, and he would love to join one of his NGOs. So Mr. Tata had also agreed, and he was like, okay, studying Cornell, let's see what opportunities come your way, and then you can finally decide, and I'll make sure that whatever your areas of interest and expertise are, I will get you a post over there. So things passed, and in the Cornell University also, Shantanu did a lot of work. First of all, he started a bikers club, and everyone thought that it was really dangerous, but nonetheless, Shantanu did it. Then he was very famous for his Instagram account, because he posted each and everything about Cornell on it, and social media, and he made everything really famous. And then the third thing was, there are very strict laws on pet adoption in abroad. It was not easy, but Shantanu did adopt a pet over there also, because he was really missing his dog in India. So he adopted a dog over there, and he named him Winter. Why? Because it was like really cold night when he got Winter. His hands were freezing cold, and because on a winter day, a winter night actually, he got that dog, so he named him as Winter. So these all things were there. He did in while he was abroad, completing his education, that make him stand apart and gained him recognition and all. So now his education, his time in Cornell ended, and he came back to India, and he was sure to join an NGO. But then all of a sudden, he gets a call from Mr. Tata, and he asked Shantanu if he could be his manager. And this was the big break. Everything like just gets like, what? Stunned. Matlab, what has happened? And obviously there was no point in denying it. You just cannot. And he agrees, and from there his journey in the office starts. Now his journey is full of life lessons, like it teaches you a lot of things. So Shantanu also rented a house which was near Mr. Tata's, and at that time he did not know that he would become his immediate boss. So he talks about other people in Mr. Naidu's office and all that things. But the most important things that I learned from him were, first of all, be kind. Be kind no matter how much work pressure you have. To not let go of what you are. So basically Shantanu, like a lot of people mailed them the office their presentations on new startups and everything, and Shantanu was given the job to review them and sort them out, about which seems to be profitable businesses and which are not so good and all that. But this is like the HR lesson also. He just did not simply reject it, or did not avoid giving them a reply, because he felt that Mr. Tata was so kind that his office should reflect his principles. And although he must be having so much work pressure, but he still took out time and typed a reply to each and everyone, with a perspective, with a notion to teach them something. So whatever was missing in their presentations, like if there was not pitch deck or something was missing, he would type it, that you should be ready with this next time, or you can do this better, or you can do that better, so that it feels a little considerate, that even if you're not selected, it's okay, at least you have learned something from the experience. So I was really, at least I was really touched by it, that no matter what, he never left his kindness. And then one another incident that really touched me. So basically it was like a get together of Cornell's University of Mr. Ratan Tata's batch. So all the seniors, all the graduate students of Cornell were supposed to gather there for a celebration, and Shantanu also accompanied them. So when they were going for the dinner, so he had opened the door for Mr. Tata, but then he saw that there were so many other aged people in line who wanted to get in. So he did not just rush after Mr. Tata, that he was his boss or he must be waiting for him, or my job is done, I have to get from there. No, he kept the door open until and unless each and every senior citizen passed through it. And during the dinner also, he was very hospitable, getting them their spoons or cutleries or food or whatever they wanted. So you can see that he is like really kind and heartwarming, and he knows what he's doing, and he does what he thinks is the best. And from here I also want to tell you that he has also started another startup named as Goodfellows, and they take care of senior citizens, and they organize a lot of games and festivals and everything to keep them occupied in a very interesting and a fun manner. You can check that out on LinkedIn as well, or Instagram or something, and I'm sure that the posts are going to warm your heart and they're going to fill it with happiness. We also see that Mr. Tata is a very good boss. He keeps on questioning Mr. Shantanu about certain things, about whatever files have been given to him, or whatever they see on the site visits and all. And Shantanu is also very well prepared. And then he learns that if something is given to you, if a file is given to you, you don't have to just read it from the surface. In fact, you need to go deeper. If something that you don't understand, just research about it, so that you are thorough with the topic. So this is also very important. And one more line was there, that time is precious and comfort zones are outdated. So yes, you need to get out of your comfort zone to learn something new. The journey of Shantanu was not always cherry on the cake. It was not easy because he saw Mr. Tata as his friend. But when he turned his boss, obviously sometimes, the work demands, there is work pressure, there are deadlines to be met, and so there's a lot of pressure. And sometimes as a boss, you need to, scold your employee or something, like you need to be a little strict. So it was very, disheartening, very much difficult for Shantanu to cope with all this, but he eventually manages it all, and he comes out as successful as he could be out of all this thing. And then he also discusses about COVID pandemic, on how they helped the needy people as well as animals during that time, how he distributed food to him. He also talk about Mr. Tata's kindness, of course we know. Then he also talks about Nano, that it was considered as marketing failure, because according to him, people should have focused on Mr. Tata's intentions behind it, that he had seen people tripling or four people over a scooter, and of course those people could not afford a car, that's why they were doing this. So his intention had been very well placed, that let's give them a car at an affordable price so that at least they would not put their lives in danger. But I think it's right to some extent. We do believe in show offs. For us, car is a status symbol, so we don't prefer अरे ये छोटा सा डिब्बा सा थोड़ी हम लेंगे. We'll take a big car, and that's why it didn't work out. And both Mr. Tata and even Shantanu was very very disheartened in that, and to support or to show that he trusts in Mr. Tata, and he understands that good intention, and he respects that. He went there and bought a Tata Nano, and he has been driving it for 4.5 years now, and it was completely white in color, so he named it Lily. So there are a lot of heartwarming moments, that you will get to know, you'll get to encounter during these. There are work ethics, that you don't have to disturb, others for office related work after 10 p.m. or something. And then there is one also very nice thing, that you should always treat your subordinates, your juniors as your equals. It will motivate them to, work harder, to maintain that respect, to make you realize that you have not done anything wrong by trusting them, by respecting them. They'll always try hard to live up to your expectations if you treat them as your equals. So the book is like really really amazing, and throughout the book you have a little smile lingering on your face. And of course Shantanu's graduation was also there. Mr. Tata arrived there a day earlier. He could not stay for his graduation per se, but his family and Mr. Tata celebrated it the previous night. They clicked photographs, and of course the family, like such a great personality is coming, like rearrange the house, prepare what we can do the best, and all those small things. It just fills your heart with so much warmth and joy, and you get to learn so much. So this was just a brief summary, and there's a lot happening in the book, and it's all beautiful. I would really really suggest you to do give it a read, or at least listen it on the Audible app. It's worth it, trust me, it's worth it. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and do leave your reviews in the comment section. Till we meet next, bye everyone, have a great day, and once again wish you a very very happy Diwali. Ta-ta.